Hey, it's Naomi. So before we dive in, if you've ever finished an episode feeling like, okay, I needed that, but wish you had something to actually walk you through the healing, well, that's exactly why I built Elevate Me. It's a self-love journey, an AI guided, but it's written in my voice. Meditations, workbook, real tools for real healing. So head on over to studio.com/Naomi to check it out. All right? All right, so let's get into today's episode. "30 days ago, I started the 30 hard, and I thought it was about discipline, about pushing my body. But it was never about that. What is it was about? It was about listening to my altar, to my dreams, to what I already knew. And now today, day 34 after completion, I want to share what the real work taught me. Because the physical part, that was just a container. That was just a container for the spiritual part. So welcome. Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Naomi&x, and I am so glad that you are here. As we continue to transform in life, so does this podcast. In season 5, we're moving differently, more intentional, more action, less learning, more doing, less waiting, and more living. This is a space where we don't just talk about self-love, we practice it. We don't just discuss transformation, we live it. Every episode is an invitation to do the work with me, not just listen to me talk about it. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Naomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself intentionally is a foundation of true transformation. So get ready, get your journal, get your pen, because in season 5, we're doing the work together. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Naomi&x. And before we dive in, let's ground ourselves. Today we're going to honor what that 30 hard taught you and what it taught me. So wherever you are right now, if you can close your eyes, if you can, and get comfortable, I want you to put your hands on your heart and take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold. Now slowly release. And now I want you to say to yourself, I trust the wisdom within me. Inhale. Exhale. And say, I have listened. I have learned. I have grown. Inhale. Exhale. And say, my inner knowing is my guide. And my guide is my power. Inhale. Exhale. Now say, I am grateful for the work. I am committed to the wisdom. Now one more deep breath in. Hold. Release. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and let's begin. All right, my beautiful people, if you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, there's something we do every episode just to help ground us before we get into the topic at hand, all right? All right, so y'all, I'm sitting here on day 34, and I want to be real with you all. When I started the 30 hard on July 15th, I thought it was about the 30 minutes of meditation. I thought it was about the 30 minutes of movement. I thought about the 30 minutes of workout, the 30 minutes of learning, the 30 minutes at the altar work, the 30 minutes of work and creation and nutrition. You see, that was 30 minutes of 5 different things in every single day for 30 days. And what I thought it was about discipline. But it wasn't. It was about listening. So a few weeks ago, around a few weeks in, I had a dream. I think it was about 2 weekends ago. My right ear had excruciating pain. And so the next morning when I woke up, I went to my altar and I got this message. And it says, trust what you know and stop making yourself prove it to yourself. It says, trust what you know and stop making yourself prove it to yourself. And that message wasn't about fitness. That was about listening to what I already knew. About listening to what I already knew. And once I heard that message, everything really started to shift for me. So that 30 hard wasn't about pushing harder. It was about listening deeper. It was about listening deeper. So now I want to share with you all on what that 30 hard actually taught me. One, it taught me my spiritual connection over my physical strength. I got stronger physically, yes, I did, but I also got wiser spiritually. You see, that 30 minutes at the altar, that became the most important part of the 30-day hard. Not because I had to do it, but because it was feeding me. And then two, because your body knows more than your mind, right? So when my body said no on day 13 and 14, I wanted to shame it. I wanted to shame myself. But my body was speaking to me. My body was saying, look, listen, Linda, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. You got to feel. You got to understand what your body is going through, what it's been through, and what it's preparing for. So, and when I listened instead of pushing, everything started to change. And then the third, it was the dream language. Remember, my right ear in pain. That equals to, what are you not hearing? What are you not hearing? And I wasn't hearing my own inner wisdom. And why wasn't I? Because I was too busy proving to myself that I was worthy. Too busy proving to myself that I was worthy. I'm in a season now that so many things are opening up, so many opportunities, so many projects have moved forward and are making great waves. And instead of me sitting and listening and enjoying these moments, I'm continually adding more and more on building blocks, like. But then I missed the whole thing. So when I talk about knowing my worth and trusting in the process and stop proving, that's what I'm talking about. The thing is, because I'm already worthy. You got to stop proving it and start trusting it. And it wasn't for anybody else. It was for my own. When I tell you how many people I hear that say, I'm so very proud of you. I see what you're doing. I see your transformation. I see blah, 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 blah. But for me, it was more of me looking at self in the mirror. And I really didn't understand it until that very next day after my right ear was hurting. And then let's talk about the consistency. That's the fourth. That consistency creates spiritual space. And so for 30 days of showing up, not perfectly. See, remember when I shared over there at Ask Naomi about, I had to understand what the difference is between being consistent and being perfect and discipline. And in my discipline, I was creating and trying to be perfect all over again. And so that was going back into the old version of me, striving for perfection instead of living in where I am now today. not starting over, but picking up where I am today and moving forward. And so again, in those 30 days of me showing up, not perfectly, but consistently, I created a container for my spirit to speak to me. So that altar work, that meditation, the movement as prayer, all of it created a space for my inner knowing to emerge. And it was speaking to me very, very loud. But here's the thing. You see, I thought I needed to complete the dirty hard to get results, right? But the results came when I listened to what 30 hard was teaching me. The results came when I stopped pushing and started trusting. You see, the results came when I said, my body knows, my spirit knows, and I trust. So now that 30 hard equal 30 days of creating space for your spirit to speak. And here's what I learned. Your spirit is always speaking. Your spirit is always speaking. You've just been too busy proving to listen. Ain't that something? I've been too busy proving to listen. I haven't even taken time to celebrate the big accomplishments, the milestones and things that I have, that I've worked for and done thus for myself and my partner and my husband and all of that. I didn't take time to understand that just last week on Wednesday that I celebrated 1 year of a post-explant, 1 year of choosing my authentic self. 1 year of going into full transformation and taking off the mask. That I was so busy trying to get discipline, trying to be perfect, trying to create this 30 hard as I felt that everybody else was doing, that I missed the whole concept of what it was given to me, on why that 30 hard was given to me. It wasn't about discipline. It's about trusting. It's about listening. That's what it was about. And so even though my 30 hard was over on Thursday, I had learned something along the way. From day 2 to day 13, 14, to day 17, 18, to day 20. And it had nothing to do with my physical being. It all had to do with my inner knowing. So if you all listening right now have been on that 30 hard, whether it was your 30 hard, your 7 hard, your 14-day hard, whatever it was, I want you to go deeper than the physical aspect of it. And I want you to go past the discipline of it. I want you to remember what I talked about being the container, building that container for your spirit. Understanding what that inner knowing is. Listening to it, trusting it, having faith in it, and not proving that you're worthy to yourself. All right? All right, my beautiful people. So here are our closing affirmations for today, all right? I want y'all to repeat after me, all right? And it's going back from we speaking of our 30 days. I trust what I know. My body is wise. My spirit is wise. My inner knowing is wise. 30 days of showing up, it creates a space for my spirit to emerge. This is where I stop proving and I listen. The wisdom within me is the guidance I need. I am grateful for the journey. I am grateful for the work. I am grateful for what I've learned. I am reclaimed. I am unashamed. And I am unstoppable. All right. Well, all right, my beautiful people. Well, the 30 hard is complete. It is complete. But the real work is the listening. It's the trusting. It's the spiritual connection that continues. That is the legacy. That is the legacy of this entire month. Not that I did 30 days of physical discipline, but that I created 30 days of spiritual opening. A spiritual opening. So until Wednesday, this is your Girly Goddess, Naomi Banks, reminding you that your inner knowing is your greatest teacher. So trust what you know. Trust what you know, all right? All right, so if you want to continue this journey of deepening your spiritual connection and trusting your inner knowing, Elevate Me is here. Elevate Me Self-Discovery app is here. And phase 3 is all about rooting in self-love and is designed to anchor you in your wisdom. So I want you to start today at studio.com/Naomi, that's spelled NYOMI, or go to elevatemenaomi.com. And that's 7 days free to deepen your practice and trust yourself. And then after that, you can sign up. It's a great app, And hey, if something in today's episode hit home, I want to hear about it. Text me or leave me a voice note using the link right in the show notes, all right? All right, my beautiful people, as I always say, be good to one another in yourselves. And always keep it sexy. Love yourself first so you can love others well. Remember that the Season of Self-Love is now on YouTube. So I want you to subscribe for episodes behind scenes and contents, as well as Flashback Fridays, all right? So you all have an amazing Mindset Monday.